So this first guitar is my only Stratocaster. It's a 1954 Strat from the Fender custom shop with an ash body and a quite a fancy bird's eye maple neck. So it's got quite a nice figure in it. It's got a 12-inch radius and 6105 nickel frets. The pickups are bare knuckles, the Irish Tour pickups, and which are sort of moderately high output, and the bridge pickup has a bass plate on it just to give it a bit of extra wallop, and the wiring just a standard Strat wiring with a 5-way switch. And this is how she sounds on the neck pickup. In between. Middle. In the 4th position. And in the bridge position.
Are the in-between positions noiseless or hum cancelling?
Yep, they hum cancel, so
it's pretty quiet in here actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's probably more noticeable with the overdrive on as we keep on the climb. So that's in the bridge position, and the hum cancel in 2 and 4. Okay.
And what's that fancy pick guard you got on there?
Oh, so this is a because I'm a prize wanker. This is a gold anodised pick guard. It's probably not even period correct, but I was just a bit bored one day and thought I might just get this one. And one of the side benefits, which I didn't realise at the time, was I think it does contribute to a bit more hum cancelling as well. So yeah, it does look a bit pimped, but it does serve a practical purpose as well. I think it's quieter than what was on previously.
Cool.
This is a Fender custom shop 51 Telecaster. It's called the Junkyard Dog. It's made for a store called Garrett Park Guitars somewhere in the United States. And look, it's probably not easy to demonstrate, but it has the biggest, thickest baseball bat style neck you could ever get. I've never played a bigger neck, and actually it does give your hand a bit of fatigue playing after a while. It's that big, so it's just absolutely huge. But you can just feel all the strings really resonating and vibrating through the whole neck and into the body. It's remarkable. I'm sure it does contribute to the tone, but yeah, it does take a bit to get your hand around. And this one also has a 12-inch radius and 6105 fret. So I used to have a 52 Tele, which I loved everything about. The tone was spectacular. It was a great guitar, beautiful light piece of ash, but the 7¼ inch radius and the little frets used to have my measure when it came to bending. It used to fret out quite a lot. So the boys in the custom shop have sorted it out with this big frets, flat board, and it's great. It's a very light guitar. I would say be less than 7 pounds. It's a lovely light piece of ash. And the pickups are Joe Barden Danny Gatton pickups, just a standard set, not the modern high output set, because I didn't know you could get them, otherwise I probably would have got them. Anyway, this is how it sounds on the bridge pickup. Between sounds.
What's your impression of the Joe Budden pickups as compared to single coils?
Oh, look, there certainly is a difference. It's a trade-off to get the hum cancelling, but I still hear plenty of tops, especially in the bridge pickup. So it's still got the sparkle look. It's not quite as bitey as I guess a traditional single coil, but for how I use it, it's fine, and the hum cancelling really does come in handy when you're playing in clubs where the power is not so great. You can do that wah-wah thing with the tone control too.
Noticed something on there I've never seen before until now.
Yeah?
The ashtray. Is that stock?
Oh, this one? No, this is a Joe Budden pickup. Sorry, a Joe Budden bridge. It's it's got a thicker base plate than the stock Fender one, and this little cutaway here, so you can sort of rest your finger there and do your picking thing, so it doesn't get in the way. So yeah, it's got these tiny little screws here too that just secure the bridge plate to the body for a little bit more sort of sustain and vibration transmission. So yeah, it's a good piece, and yeah, you can get them as an aftermarket accessory from Joe Budden. Callahan also make a fantastic telly bridge as well, with a similar arrangement with the screws at the front. So this is a 51 Esquire again from the custom shop in Shoreline Green, and it's yeah, it's a lovely light guitar again, made from ash. Just the top is bound, and the neck is nowhere near as big as the other telly. It's quite comfortable. It's got a flat radius too, a 9.5 inch radius, and 6105 frets, which is becoming a bit of a recurring theme. But yeah, it's just a nice, light, spanky guitar. Just a single pickup. It's a Seymour Duncan Billy Gibbons pickup, which is actually stacked. We've done another review on this one quite a while ago. And so it is hum cancelling, but again, I think you don't lose too much at the top end. It's still got that nice sort of top. Again, not as razor sharp as a traditional single coil. but not too much of a compromise. The wiring, it's the back position is just the pickup. It bypasses the tone stack. The middle position introduces the tone stack here with a capacitor network, and then the forward position is what's called the Mike Eldred wiring, which uses a capacitor network again for that cocked wah sound. So I'll demonstrate that to you. Here's just the pickup with the tone pot bypassed. Okay, here's with the tone stack engaged. It's a subtle difference. I'll just put it on the back position again, and middle. So it just rolls off a little bit at the top, and of course again introduces the that sort of faux wah effect you can do. And then, yeah, we'll introduce the Eldred wiring. It's probably more effective with a little bit of overdrive engaged, which we'll do later. But here, I'll just put it to the back and then to the front just to compare it. So I guess a traditional Esquire, that front position, it was, I think, designed to play bass. This Eldred wiring is more as a lead voice.
What have we got down on the floor? The Klon?
Oh, we've got a Klon KTR overdrive. So this is in the switch forward position, the Eldred wiring, which is like the cocked wah sound. So this is with the overdrive off. And overdrive on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the back position without any tone at all. And then again to the forward. It is overkill having two Klons, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
I don't know. You don't know how many. You could probably fit a third one in there. Get rid of the tuner.
No worries. On my pedal train, it's just a mini because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered toting around a big board like some egomaniacs that I know. So this one is a full tone Clyde standard wah, and probably there's something interesting on the side of it. It's got this buffer level, because sometimes when you kick on a wah, depending if it's running through fuzzes, the level can actually drop, and so this sort of compensates for that. So I just sort of have the buffer on, and it just drives the signal along nicely. Into a Sonic Research Turbo tuner, which is a terrific strobe tuner. It's got a much smaller footprint than the Pearson Strobo Stomp, which I used to have, and it's got quite a good easily read display. So that works pretty well. I have used it on daytime stages, and it's not too bad. Look, it's always a bit tricky if the sun's right directly overhead, but overall it's quite visible, and it's very straightforward, and you can calibrate it to sweetened tunings or open tunings or whatever, but we're just guitarists, we're simple people. Going into a pair of Klon KTR overdrives, which is complete overkill, but one is set for just a very mild overdrive, just to give the amp front end a bit of a kick, and the second one is set for a little bit more gain, a bit more sustain. So yeah, we've done videos about the Klon, and there's lots and lots about that. I just like it for running into my amps, which are all low powered tube amps, or just cranked up to the point of clipping, and these just take them over the edge nicely. Going into an option 5 destination rotation, which is a rotating speaker effect simulator. I just use it for my fake Leslie sounds when I'm comping. Look, I've tried a few of these rotating speaker effects, and this one for mine sounded quite authentic. It's got this fast slow button, which I'll show in a tick, and also an overdrive, which sort of simulates the overdriven Leslie valve amp, and it's pretty good. You can adjust the slow trim and the fast trim too for how fast it speeds up and slows down. And the final pedal in the chain is a TC Electronics flashback delay, which I think is terrific. It's great in terms of having a whole bunch of different delays, you know, tape emulators, analog emulators, the famous TC 2290 simulator, and also the tone print, which is what I use a lot, where you can go onto the TC Electronics website and download patches made by a whole bunch of different guitarists, and the one I use all the time is made by Dan Huff, who is a fantastic guitarist and producer now in Nashville. He's got fantastic ears, and so this is his delay patch. The one drawback I find with this pedal, as opposed to say a Boss digital delay, is the setting the tempo. The Boss one is so easy, you just sort of tap it along to the tempo. This one you actually have to push it down and then strum the guitar. And it's okay, but sometimes between songs there's just that latency where you can't hear anything, and I find it not as good as the Boss digital stuff, but it's okay.
So it mutes your signal?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, so every time you're adjusting it, it mutes.
Is that other output on the side? Is that a stereo output,
yeah,
or is
stereo,
it
yeah.
okay? I didn't know if it was a
stereo.
bypass one or something. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so you can run 2 amps, which is what we should do.
Yeah, let's do it. Cool. So is this your complete pedal collection?
It depends who's watching. If my wife is watching, yes, this is all I own. But there's no way she'll be watching this. So no, this is just what I'm using for most gigs at the moment. But being that if you're in the Shane Diorio band, you have to be a gear whore. There's lots of other things that are lurking in the cupboard.
I think you've made my gas worse over the years.
Yes. Well, that would be all those burritos. So the thing with Dan Huff's delay patch is that there's just a tiny bit of modulation on the delay. So should demonstrate these overdrives.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, the first clon is set the gains on probably about just take it up and down about 11 o'clock. The tone's on at 1 o'clock, and the level is on about probably 10 o'clock. So all this is designed to do is just give the amp a little bit of a push into a natural clip. Without altering the tone too much. So if you played, you know, quietly, just turn it down a bit. It's still fairly clean. But if you want to spank it, it'll get nasty. Okay. And the second clon is set with the gain a bit higher. I'll just let you take the level down a bit. So this gain's now set to about probably 230. The tone is just about midday, and the levels at about 9:30. So yeah, you get the picture. This is the option 5 destination rotation. So I'll just demonstrate this, the slow fast switch. And it's got the overdrive on at the moment. I'll just turn the overdrive off for that's enough of that. And oh, the wah, of course. Must demonstrate the wah. And I'll just put a little bit of overdrive on. Okay, so this amp is the Victoria Regal amplifier, made by the Victoria Amplifier Company, and its main claim to fame is that it can use a variety of 8-pin power tubes, so be it a 6L6 or a 6V6 or an EL34 or a 6550 or a KT66 or 88, any 8-pin power tube, and it can use either one or two. So the main advantage of this amp for me is that in a smaller room I can run it, just run a single 6L6, which is in it at the moment, for about 8 watts output. And again, if you want loud clean, you won't get it out of this amp, well, especially in this configuration. But my preference is low powered valve amps, just pushed to the point of clipping, because it's just the sound that I prefer. I find it very dynamically responsive, and yeah, it just works well for my style of playing. So yes, it's just got a single 6L6 in the power stage at the moment, a tongue sole 6L6, and it's got a valve reverb and a valve tremolo as well, but I can't find the tremolo foot switch, which is a bit of a fail. So if I want tremolo during a gig, I just walk over to it and turn it on. I'll give you a demonstration of that.
I never knew it had tremolo.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's that. I'll find the foot switch sometime. So yeah, this just with the Strat. So yeah, it gives it a real nice round sound. I might just turn up a fraction just to get a bit of clip out of it. So again, if you give it a pretty spanky signal in the front end, it's just got that nice hint of clipping. When you hit the front end of this amp with an overdrive, it really does break up well. What I like about this is, even though the overdrive's on, if you just turn down a fraction and hit a bit more softly, so it does clean up pretty well. And then when you turn it up again, when all hell's breaking loose, hit it with a bit more gain.
15-inch speaker?
Yeah, it's got a 15-inch speaker from made from Weber, W-E-B-E-R, and they make terrific speakers. So this one is custom made for the Victoria people, and I believe they're still producing this amplifier too. You can also get it in a tweed, which is just lovely. This is in Tremolux, and it's beautifully built, and I've had it for several years and it's never ever turned a hair. It's been fantastic, really good. Why don't I use it more for gigs? Good question.
Is Tremolux the equivalent of fake tweed?
Look, I think so. I think that could be my issue with it. I have matching underwear for my tweed amps, but not for this one. So yeah, I have issues in that area.
It's still the best sounding amp I reckon I've heard.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good. I can't quite work out why I don't do it more. So this is the Eric Clapton Tremolux, which is a great little 11 watt amplifier, very straightforward, just a couple of 6v6 power tubes. It's tube rectified, and it's got I think 3 12AX7s in the preamp section. Just 3 controls: volume, tone, and tremolo speed. The intensity I think is preset at 8. And so it's very straightforward. It's got a low output, which I think halves the output for if you're just playing in your bedroom or apartment. But it does, I think it does sort of compromise the tone. I don't think you'd ever use it live or in a recording setting at the low output, because it just sort of squashes the dynamic response. But it's useful if you're playing in a situation where you just can't be loud. It needs to be turned up a little bit just to get the power tubes clipping nicely. So we've got it on about 3 at the moment, and we'll just hit it with the Strat, and you'll hear. Again, it's nice and sparkly. So again, if you're looking for loud clean, then you're barking up the wrong tree for sure. But yeah, we never play loud and clean. We play loud, don't worry about that, but it's not that clean. So yeah, it goes just really well with these overdrives. Just to basically take the amp and just give it a bit of a walloping, and I guess overall most of the tone comes from the amp and not the overdrive. I'm not a huge fan of overdrives with too many tonal options, because I think if you've got a great sounding amp and you just want a little bit more, that's where the overdrive sort of comes in. So certainly I'm one of the less is more brigade when it comes to overdrives, and that's why I think the Klon works so well for me, because you really do know what you're getting out of it. You do get a mid hump, there's no doubt about it, but that does help it to cut through the mix. But it just doesn't colour the signal too much, so you really are just hearing a louder version of your guitar through the amp, and I think it gives a great sound. So we'll just put on the overdrive set at the low overdrive, with the gains on about 11 o'clock, tones on 1 o'clock, and the level is on about 10 o'clock. Again, just turning down a bit, and things just clean up really nicely. you pluck or how soft. Put the higher gain overdrive on. I just love the sound of 6v6s. They really get fat when you overdrive them too, so I hope that's coming out in the sound. It's big and meaty. Cool. And I should demonstrate the tremolo as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that little Duvalaki down there? So yeah, you can only adjust the speed, not the intensity. But it's yeah, it's a great sounding. It's almost got this sort of three-dimensional sound to it. Definitely one of the thickest sounding small amps I've ever heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think quite a bit of love and thought's gone into these amps. Look, I would have bought this amp if it had Eric Clapton's or, you know, Festus McCorkindale's. Sorry, that's a great cock reference. Initials on it, because I think they're just well designed. They've got big beefy Mercury Magnetics transformers and a terrific Celestion G1265 speaker, which is a great sounding speaker. So if you're going to build it all into a small package, then it's just fantastic. It's just got such a big sound. It mics up beautifully. It really, really does. So, you know, old farts like me are getting way past toting around 50 watt amplifiers and 100 watt amplifiers. You know, this thing does plenty good. You know, we play in a bigger room, we just mic it up, pipe it back through the monitors, and it just sounds like $1 million. And all the tone comes from there. The overdrives and various other bits and pieces are just little things to add to it. But overall, if you start out with a great sounding amp, then you don't need to get too complicated. So that's that.
Want to give us a
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This goes out to Rebecca. Love you, baby.
Oh, it never gets old.
No, it doesn't. I love it.